right, everybody. Welcome to SSC Texas TV. We have a special guest today, DJ Cali Royce. How you doing today?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing all right. If you can't introduce yourself, tell the people something about you.
Okay. I'm DJ Cali Royce, originally from Carson, California. I am one of the hottest female DJs in Houston, Texas, really in the South, okay? And I own my own marketing company. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, great. So I did a little research on you, of course, and I see that you was born and raised in Carson, California. Mm-hmm. If you can, tell us a little bit about Carson, California, and how it was growing up in Carson.
So Carson, California is, like you said, where I'm from. I was raised there, and for me, it was like, it's like Pearland. If you want to compare it to anything in Houston, you would compare it to like a Pearland or a Katy. It was real off the grid, but we were literally right next to Compton. So, you go a little bit, you go across the freeway, you're right there.
Right.
And so growing up there was cool. I lived with my grandparents and my mom and dad. We kind of moved around, and it was great, good energy. Nice to move from there to come to Texas because just the school and education system was completely different. I didn't know that I was a few grade levels behind just in that move in general. So coming to Texas, the education system was better. I learned a lot in my move, and just overall it was a great, awesome move.
Okay, so you stayed by Compton a little bit, huh? All right. Did you get in some of that mix over there in Compton?
Not at all. Right, my parents did not play that. I honestly, how a lot of artists be like, oh, I'm from the streets, I'm from the hood. I could never say that. My parents always kept me, in really good areas, kept me away kind of from the street life. My dad worked really hard, and so did my mom. And I've always had like very close-knit family, so I've never really had to see that. And to be honest with you, I didn't learn much about Compton and how bad it was until I moved to Texas. So I've never even knew. I didn't even know how bad it was.
So your parents found out you was a crip walker, you gonna get your ass whooped.
Man, okay.
All right. So I see that your dad introduced you to the entertainment business. So I see that he was a big inspiration. So what did your dad do in the entertainment business?
So on the entertainment side, my dad has done commercials for television and radio. So he did commercials on BET, during BET Hip Hop Awards. He did a lot of the voiceovers for just different platforms. And being a part of the entertainment world is just watching him do different creative voices. It was just really dope to watch. And so growing from watching him to wanting to do my own stuff, mimicking voices and being animated and all that good stuff, it just comes with the territory. So that phased off into the DJing.
Cool. So what was your reason for leaving Carson, California, coming to Texas?
Honestly, cost of living and educational system. So like I said, just me being with my parents and being educated in school in California, I don't know if a lot of people know, but the educational system is a little bit behind. Texas school system is more advanced. They teach you. They're a little bit more vigorous and hands-on. At least for me at that time it was. And so it was the cost of living and education system. And here in Texas is way lower cost. That's why everybody moving out here. And the being dang near 2 grade levels behind and moving here, I had to hurry up and play catch up. That's why I do a lot of research on stuff now. It's just, I feel like it's really important. Okay,
all right. So in the summer of 2014, I see you had a mentor, a fleet DJ. I think his name was DJ Mofat. Tell me, how was that experience right there, and how you got introduced to him?
Okay, so DJ Mofat is a DJ, a part of Fleet DJs. I used to bartend, and Mofat actually was like a dude that DJ'd at the clubs that I was bartending at. And I was just like, man, he got the turntables. He wasn't playing. He had techniques. Like, he literally had the turntables, not the controllers that DJs using nowadays.
Right.
So just watching him mix and scratch and blend the songs, it just kind of reminded me of my love for music. And I asked him one day, I was like, hey, I know I bartend, I'm a female, but could you show me how to DJ? And so he wound up taking me under his wing. He told me to meet him at PV. I was on the radio at PV. I got to DJ there as well. But I always pay homage to him because he's the one that actually showed me cuts, blends, just learning how to overall DJ.
Okay. Shout out to DJ Mofat. All right, much respect. He did a good job with you.
Facts.
Okay, so I understand that you study production and marketing, working with the Gap Productions, and also getting a start with a company called Fast Track. How was that? How that came about?
Well, honestly, Gap Productions is my father's company. So, Gap Productions, that's crazy, is my dad's production company. So that actually kind of stemmed from, again, his interviews, commercials. He interviewed like a lot of hot celebrities when we were back in LA. So watching him interact with them, I kind of got my foot into Fast Track. And so with them, I got to do interviews at like Houston Car Show. That's where I met like Bun B. I met people like Waka Flocka, Lil Boosie, like Ray Shrimmer before they got hot. I got to interview all these people, and again, it was literally through that company. Of course, I network myself, and I talk to a lot of different platforms, but working with them, they gave me like the microphone, they had me on a consistent radio show, and just being able to learn my craft and make mistakes and hone in on them, working with them was really, really dope.
Okay, all right. So in your time when you was DJing, right, or just been in the entertainment business, who was your favorite person to ever work with, and also who was the worst person you ever worked with?
Okay, my favorite person to work with, being in the entertainment world or being a DJ?
It could be out of both worlds.
Oh, that's so hard. Okay, favorite person to work with, okay, I would say Connie B. Connie B works for Radio 1, which is 97.9 and Magic 102. Connie B has this thing she says where she says like I'm a show junkie, and she's an older lady, and I met her through my dad, and she just really took me under her wing and showed me how to overwork yourself. Like no matter what, get the job done. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I get my hustle from when it comes to putting together productions. She does everything from sound, having vendors, making sure all of Radio 1's events are put together and rather well. She calls herself a show.
All right.
So she was my definite favorite.
So that's where you get that drive from. Okay.
For sure.
All right. So who was your less pleasant person?
I don't even remember honestly his platform, but it's a guy that I had blocked on Instagram, and it was because he booked me to DJ. This was in my earlier years, because I probably would have found somebody to backslap him. But it was a guy I was working with. He's on the north side. He does have like a little radio podcast thing or whatever. But he asked me to DJ for him one time, and he didn't pay me. Yeah, so he wound up giving me like $75 up front, and then he was like, I promise you I'm gonna have everything later on for the night. And I wound up DJing the whole night, running all the artists that he had me run, and he did not pay me.
Wow.
So yeah, he's terrible.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so just another question. So being in the industry, what's the wildest thing or experience you ever seen or been a part of in the industry?
Being a part of the industry, wow. Okay, I could say, y'all can go research this, but I DJ'd and still currently DJ lifestyle parties. So I don't know if a lot of people know about lifestyle parties, but when I was first introduced to them, I was introduced from one of my homegirls, and she was like, yeah, my homegirl has a lifestyle club, and I wanted you to come and do one of her main nights. So now I get booked quite frequently with them. I do a lot of their traveling events. I don't participate, however, I do be lurking. You know what I'm saying? I be peeping. I be like, what y'all doing over there? Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably one of the wildest things, because, of course, if you don't know what the lifestyle is, then you don't know. But if you know, you know.
Okay. All right. So by you being a very, beautiful woman, you know what I'm saying, in this male-dominated industry, have you had any creeps, stalkers, or can you elaborate on any experiences?
Creeps and stalkers. I wouldn't say stalkers. I think the most that I would get is like, admirers. I really don't get people that, do too much. A lot of people think I'm currently in a relationship anyway. So they'll kind of like, and I wear rings on my hands. So people will be like, oh yeah, I see you married or whatever. But again, this is my class ring and this is just a ring. So, okay. Anyways. But yeah, so I don't get a lot of creeps. Or weird stuff like that.
Okay, all right. I'm finna get off topic a little bit, and I'm finna talk about some stuff that's in the media. Okay. What do you think about what's going on with the P. Diddy freak off and allegation situation? What's your honest opinion on that?
Wow. Well, I just actually unfollowed somebody for discussing P. Diddy on their platform. Even though the video came out with him and Cassie and all that, but right before that video came out, the person was just like really talking down on P. Diddy, and it just kind of seemed like a clout type thing. And I feel like a lot of us have our own personal lives, and then we have the entertainment world. And I think the difference between a lot of these conversations and things that are happening are these are people's personal lives that you're speaking on. And a lot of us will throw rocks at people, but we already have our own, drama that we deal with, stuff that we've done that doesn't make us perfect individuals. So for me, I just feel like that's his business. I feel like the R. Kelly situation was his business. I feel like that's all their business. And I also feel like the ladies, a lot of times people always say, hey, I couldn't get away. This person held me down. They didn't allow me. But, going into the lifestyle, a lot of us have red flags as well as women. And as women also, we take our time to, like, sometimes we don't want to pull away from certain stuff because I got the money, I got the fame. And once I leave this, I could be blackballed. You know what I mean? So I feel like even in being in domestic violence relationships, which I've been in one before, I feel like everybody has to take their share of accountability, and then we also have to learn from that experience and teach others as well. So that's kind of my point of view.
Okay, going back to what you were saying about being in a domestic abusive relationship yourself, when you were going into it, did the person give any signs, and what advice could you give to some of these young ladies to get out of it?
Well, these light-skinned men with the pretty eyes, them be the ones that's the most retarded. I ain't lying to you. No pun intended. But it's the light skins. I'm telling you. Now, don't get me wrong. I do know that there are chocolate men, hence Diddy, who lay hands like Jesus Christ. But I have had more experience, like with my homegirls or people that I'm cool with, more light-skinned, black guys. Now, mind you, not all of them are like that, but a lot of guys that are tapped into their feminine energy, they tend to be a little bit more physical with women than the manly, masculine men. And I just felt like, wait, what was your question about it?
And I was just saying, like, what was the red flags when you got in your relationship?
Red flag. Okay, so my red flag was more so his attitude. He had, and I can't even say that he just like beat me up, but it was enough for me to be like, oh, you want to hit me? Okay. Right. Yeah, no. So my red flag with him was his attitude. Like, he'll get really, really extremely mad. Right. And I could have left then, but I was just like, he wouldn't do that. Right. And then one day, drinks were involved. And then the next day came and I got headbutted. Oh, okay. And I was just like, it's time to go. Yeah.
Okay. So what advice will you give to some of these young ladies, some tips on a way to get out? Because sometimes it's not easy. And sometimes these guys are losing their mind. And if you got any advice to make it easier for them to try to get out, so what advice you have?
My advice will be always have your own financially, because a lot of reasons why women stay in situations that are uncomfortable are because of the finances. And to me, like, I always be telling my homegirls, I be like, girl, I would love for a dude to take care of me, but to be honest with you, even if a dude did take care of me, I would always have my own. And I feel like that handicap that you have when you're leaning on a guy for something is the reason why you stay, because you have the questions of, I've been isolated from my family, I don't mess with nobody, I don't talk to none of my friends, I don't have nobody to turn to, so how do I leave this guy? He's all I have. And that's kind of the mentality that men have when they are women abusers. They try to isolate you as a woman. Okay. So always, no matter, even if you're isolated, still stay in communication with certain people. Gotcha. Have you a support team and people that you talk to, and have you an exit strategy, because people will set you up for failure, and you just want to be always on your note, always on game, always on point.
Okay, all right. So by you being in the entertainment business, Have somebody ever tried to invite you into something like a freak off for advancement?
Wait, for an investment like financial?
Or like moving up, or whatever, opportunity.
Oh, opportunity.
Or just
now in general, I'm gonna say this. I have had guys that are a part of the upper echelon folk in the industry offer me opportunities or make an advance at me for beat or for this or for that. But to me, it's just like it's not interesting to me. Like, I don't want to leverage sex in order to go somewhere in life. Now, have I had a mutual situation? Of course. I feel like, just being in the industry 10 years, you're going to have a situation where you benefit from that person, they benefit from you. But like literally hey, I got these beats or hey, I got opportunity for you to go to this show, but you got to have sex with me first. I would never agree to that, because I just feel like it's just not... It's no point. I could get. I got juice. You feel me? I really don't need much of all that. So and I feel like, even let's just say it was like a Diddy type situation, or like maybe a Kanye opportunity. I'm like, dang, that's loud. But no, I don't think I want to do that for that. It's just some stuff don't be worth it.
Right. Okay. All right. So what you think about the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef that's going on right now? What's your honest opinion?
Man, all I'm gonna say is, what up, K-Dot? You feel me? I'm just trying to, get in the lab real quick. You feel me? But I feel like they are digging really dirty. They are doing this music thing, and they are going deep into each other's history, and I'm loving it. I feel like this gives us an opportunity to see what hip hop battles are like, and I feel like a lot of people, we don't have healthy ones. What I feel on the women's side is I see a lot of our bickering on the women's side be created, and it's fake. Because I've seen Cardi B beef with the City Girls, and they homies, but it's literally in the middle of them dropping. Or I'll see Nicki Minaj take a jab at somebody, and then they jab back, but both of them are about to drop projects. So it's like it's like a forced argument versus like the Kendrick and Drake. It was like this was long awaited. I know y'all been brewing to argue with each other. Like, let's see what's gonna come of this. It just kind of brings us back to our roots of, like, back in the day when there was the whole rival between Tupac, the Biggie thing, just all of the different labels that have had their back and forth. I just feel like it's a classic hip hop back and forth, and I'm loving it.
So who you feel like won the beef?
Okay,
I'm going with Kendrick.
I'm team Kendrick, but because I have to be honest, okay? Unless you're fully aware, you're a lyrical individual, which this generation is not. It's microwavable. They're gonna say Drake won naturally, because they're all microwavable children. These little kids they just love Drake. It is what it is. But if we be honest about it, lyrically, Kendrick stomped him all the way out, like, period. And to be honest too, I was just thinking about this morning. I do feel like Drake is somewhat of a culture vulture, because I've watched him over the years, like, come into certain situations, or he be acting like Captain Save-A-Ho, or like, I just feel like as a A-list celebrity, certain times you should just move on your own accord. But I just feel like he do a lot of culture vulturing, and that's not fair to the black community. You know what I mean? And he be highlighting these Caucasian women, which I love all women, but sir, you don't like BBWs. You're lying.
Okay.
You're lying.
So by you, being in entertainment and a successful DJ, have you had any DJ to DJ beef, with any other female DJs or even male DJs out there?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. Are you scared to talk about it?
I'm not scared to talk about it, but I feel like at this point in my life, I feel like if we have beef, we just stay out of each other's way. You know what I mean? Yes. And I personally don't beef with people. I just feel like I know that certain people have issues.
So I'm gonna ask you this: the DJ, are they from Houston? Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Well, how did the situation start? Briefly, how did it start?
Well, honestly, Houston is a very different market than any other place, as we all know. And I feel like because I work very unorthodox, I'm not the average individual. I'm very by the book when it comes to working. People are used to just doing stuff haphazard, and I'm structured. And I feel like that's kind of been a problem naturally with a lot of people. And I think that with the DJ side, it kind of can clash when you work a little bit more structured and organized and people just show up and do their thing, you know? So that's what I would kind of say. I've never had no like, oh, I hate you, you did this, da da da. It's just always been more so on the business side, you know, like people lowballing, you know, or cutting or stepping on my toes with certain situations, like trying to infiltrate, oh, Cali Royce do this, so let me go try to do it. Or they will not even mess with somebody for real, but when I work with them, they, let me, man, come on, man.
Okay, all right. So,
come on.
So if you had to battle two DJs, just battle them, what two DJs you think you can beat if you was in a battle? Or just a DJ battle in the club? Who can get that club rocking? That's the way you win.
Two DJs. Ooh. Dang.
Yeah, just two of them. It's friendly. It ain't no beat, but you feel like, hey, if you come up against me, I can get, you know, I got this.
I would say my mentor, DJ Mofat, and also Manny Fresh.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She calling Manny Fresh out. Manny Fresh, if you see this.
But the only reason I say them two is because I like both of them. Yeah. But I feel like because I've studied both of them, I could really like, you know what I'm saying, like hop in a mix and just get on the tables and just take over. That's how I feel, because I really admire those two DJs for sure.
Okay, all right. What you think about? I'm gonna ask you another question. What you think about the Meek Mill situation
with the Diddy?
Yeah. Do you think that? Did you hear the audio?
I did.
What you think about it?
Okay, I look at this two ways. So one, it could have been AI. It could have been AI. Number two, I look at it like we don't know what they be having going on at these events anymore. And to be honest, I feel like our culture has shunned so much of these men being who they are that at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if Soulja Boy really did do whatever was said on the camera. So I don't put nothing past nobody, but I do notice that, you know, Meek do have some female tendencies, you know, he do. And I've been watching their video footage of their interaction, him and Diddy, and the energy is there. So I don't know, but I just feel like even with those situations, they personal, you know what I mean? And I feel like personal shouldn't trump your entertainment world. A lot of times we judge people based off of what they've done in their personal life, and then they discredit everything. And I honestly feel like the culture is trying to dismantle our black people in general, the black men, black people. Think about it from this standpoint. We done had Michael Jackson be dismantled. That was at the top of the food chain. You can't, like, come on, bro. Now you got K-Dot going against Drake. These are our top people that we have. Like, again, and then you got people like Drake jabbing at K-Dot saying stuff like, oh, you a slavery rapper. And you light-skinned, dude. You can't do that. What you're doing is you're dismantling our culture, and that's not okay. Then you go to situations like Beyonce, Jay-Z, they're at the top of the food chain. People still trying to tear their brands down. Who else has been at the top? R. Kelly, top of the R&B food chain. We barely have good R&B music right now, and being torn down again on his personal side. A lot of those girls, and again, I'm not discrediting nobody for getting peed on or whatever they did, you know what I'm saying? It happened, all right? But at the same time, a lot of them parents was allowing that stuff to happen. So when are the people that are a part of these things going to start taking accountability because you dealt with it for a certain amount of time, and after a certain amount of time, you stop wanting to deal with it? Where's our personal accountability? And I feel like that's what we got to start looking at, and not merging our entertainment world with personal life. Because a lot of people could look at your personal life. They could look at my personal life. Oh, Cali Royce just the whoop, whoop, whoop. And it's just like, so you going to discredit my whole catalog? You going to discredit all the hard work I did? And so quickly, even with the Mary J. Blige, I didn't know that anything was happening with Mary J. like recently. And it was like, oh, Mary J. next, she getting uncovered. And I was like, what did she do? Do you know what she did?
No. I mean, I heard some things.
What did you hear?
couple of things. You know, I heard that she was kind of like, you know, well, in the game, kind of like, you know, a pass around. And then I know what's the guy with Death Row? I forgot his name. He was the he sang that song with I Ain't Mad at You, and he was like he really turned out to be like gay or whatever, and he was young, and he was saying Mary J. Blige was sleeping with him when he was like, I think he 15.
Yeah. Okay, so that piece I did hear, but my thing is right now Mary J is working with a group of young R&B artists. You know what I mean? These boys are like 14, 15, 16 type group. And again, with these people, it's just like it's just so much dismantlement, and I'm just like, what is she doing it now? Like, what about B2K? It's just so much.
Yeah, it's so much. All right.
I love it.
So, getting back to you, are you currently dating anybody, or you just, you know, and if you're not dating anybody, somebody that was interested that's watching this video, how would the right person approach DJ Cali Royce and have a chance, a small chance?
As long as they're not in the entertainment industry, as far as like a DJ or an artist or anything, I don't want to date in the industry. I feel like it's really hard to date in the industry right now because there's so many variables. Like, you gotta worry about, you know, do you post your relationship? Do you not? Do you tell people who you with? Do you not? Some people don't even like the person you with, but because you with them, they want them. And it's really hard. And so to answer your question, I'm dating people. You know, I go out on dates. I go eat food. You know, I can't say like I'm just, you know.
Locked down.
You know, I'm not outside, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm not doing all that. But, you know, I'm dating, and I feel like in the space that I'm dating, I feel like I don't want to date just to date. I want to date with a purpose. Like, I want to date to go somewhere with whatever we're doing. So I don't date multiple people at one time. I may go out to eat here and there or whatever, but I'm not, And then as far as approaching me, as long as you're not an artist, as long as you're not a DJ, if you do any type of form of fashion or music, please do not talk to me. Please. It is a no. It is a leave me alone. It is a stay away from me, because this is my work. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you mix the two, and this is literally from history of me working in the industry, people anticipate certain things from you. They expect that, you know, oh, she a DJ, she gonna support me. No, I'm not.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
Well, you know, being in Houston, we have, you know, in the entertainment business, you know, we take a lot of losses for us, like deaths and stuff like that. Have it been some deaths from some Houston artists and stuff like that, and people that affected you? You know, if you can you talk about it?
My brother, Chucky Trill, was murdered a couple years ago in Atlanta while we were traveling, and we were about to do a show out there.
Right.
He was shot and killed. R.I.P. to Chucky Trill.
Yeah,
so that was something that really impacted my career, because me and Chucky were in the middle of a deal. So he had just signed to a label. He had just got his budget dropped for the label. We were in the middle of rolling out his project, Cartel Baby. And everything came to like a screeching halt. Like, literally, the reason he was in Atlanta is because of one of my shows. So I had to change the show that he was supposed to be on the next day to a memorial show in memory of, versus him actually being there to perform. Numb? Yes. Aware of what's going on? Not at all. I literally was so numb during that situation. I couldn't even think straight. But yeah, that's a death that really impacted my career and the trajectory of, you know, where my career went afterward.
Okay. One more person I wanted to bring up. It was another female DJ that I was watching that was doing her thing, and I don't want to mess her name up, but I think it's DJ D Baby.
Oh yeah, D-Baby.
Right. Did you ever, you know, unfortunately she had a passing, but have you crossed paths with her?
Yeah, I got D-Baby her day in Houston after she passed. I was very, you know, tapped in with D-Baby from me and her being a part of Hip Hop Streets and us bridging the gap of, you know, female DJs working together. The week she passed, me and her was supposed to be sit down, download music. I still got our text messages. And literally, I didn't hear from her that Tuesday, and I blew her phone down, and I'm like, what is going on? So the next day came, and that's when I found out she was in the hospital and she had passed. But I reached out to her family. family because I had just gotten Chucky Trill his day in Houston after he passed, and I asked her family, you know, can I get her a day in Houston for her birthday? And you know, I'm big on anything that happened with people. As far as their life, your legacy is the most important.
Okay.
I wish somebody would do that here in the city. We don't really have people that give us a navigation when people pass away. So I like to, you know, be a liaison or assist where I can for sure.
All right, great. So this part we finna you can only pick one. You know what I'm saying? So the one that you don't pick, that's the one that's finna be thrown in the trash. So
Okay.
I'm gonna name 2 people and you pick one.
Okay.
Ice Spice, Sexy Red.
Wait, the one I pick is
The one you keep, the keeper. The other one is trash.
Sexy Red.
Okay, why? Why Sexy Red over Ice Spice?
I'm into it multiple reasons. Ice Spice is I'm just not really a fan. I'm just
Okay,
saying
all
it.
right.
A lot of reasons popped into mind. I was like, yeah, let me just go with the better one.
Meek Mills, 50 Cent.
50.
Okay, why?
Man, 50 is he's the culture. He has touched every aspect of culture. I mean, top to bottom, from acting to everything. He's one of the biggest hustlers I know. I love 50 for sure. That's
Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Nicki all day.
Why?
Nicki pen game is immaculate, and I feel like Cardi is an industry plant. Not that she couldn't possibly not be, but it's just too much industry plant around Cardi B's career. She literally, if you go look at her pen, if you look at the project that went #1, you can go look up on Apple Music how many writers she's had on her projects, and I just feel like I love authenticity. I love the creative direction that Nicki has, and she's a spearheader of that. And I'm just a big fan.
OnlyFans, Pornhub.
Pornhub. Mm-hmm.
Charleston White, Whack 100.
Whack 100.
Okay. Cat Williams, Kevin Hart.
Cat Williams.
All right. So I really enjoyed interviewing you today. I want you to be able to give some shout outs and let people know how they can find you on your social media platforms.
Okay, so shout out to y'all for having me. Thank you so much. I want to also shout out to my company, The Royce Factory. You guys can follow me at DJ Cali Royce, DJ CALIROYCE. What else? Oh, also The Royce Factory, my marketing company. We do a lot of work here in the city of Houston, Texas. We give everybody their light. We do rollout plans, marketing, exposure for artists. We've worked on 12 different projects. So if you guys are interested in working with us, at The Royce Factory, or you can hit me up directly.
All right. Thank you so much.